one after another. This movie was more than I thought it was going to be, and which is a great thing because most movies nowadays show off way too much in the trailers and you know the entire plot. But I thought I knew the plot for this movie. And there were some nice little surprises that I didn't expect. And no, there will not be any spoilers in this video. I'm going to save the spoilers after I see the movie a second time so I can really give my thoughts on it because it's very interesting. Directed by Paul Anderson and is a 2.5-hour movie. It's starring Leonardo DiCaprio as Bob, Tiana Taylor as Perfidia, Chase Infinity as Willa. Those are our main three characters, but we also got some great additions. We got Benicio del Toro as Sensei Sergio, Sean Penn as Stephen J. Lockjaw, and Regina Hall as Deandra. The film's storytelling, the pacing, the characters, the acting, the tension, the visuals, the attention to detail, the writing, and the sound design. Oh my goodness, definitely go see it in Dolby Atmos. It's just the little things in this movie. It's not like some crazy sound effects going on, but there are some times where the sound design pops. But all of this was executed well. And that 96 Rotten Tomatoes score you've been seeing is not a lie. And for all of you that have been wondering if this is woke or not, it's not. In fact, it doesn't really spit any message at you as far as I could tell. The movie sort of just plays out, gives you the story. It doesn't favor one side or the other or baby feed you and tell you who to root for or who not to root for. I'd say it lets you decide for yourself, which is how it's supposed to be. But with all that said, this movie comes at an interesting time with everything that's going on in the world and how the climate is in the United States, especially with immigration. All right, so the plot. The plot, we're following our main character, Bob, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and his daughter, Willa. In the past, Bob was a part of a rebel group called the French 75 that fought against the government. They committed crimes that to them were for the greater good and for their cause. Their fight was mostly against illegal immigration, so maybe that's where people are getting this "the movie is woke" thing from. But anyways, Bob was dating a crazy girl named Perfidia and had a kid with her, who ends up being Willa. Bob and Perfidia end up going their separate ways and Bob keeps the daughter. Years go by and Bob's past comes back to haunt him and his daughter. And then the man that's been after them for years, since the beginning, has come back with a vengeance, Stephen J. Lockjaw. I'm not going to go any further than that with the plot because then that becomes spoiler territory. I think the story was executed very well. And what I really like the most is the fact that the movie doesn't answer every question for you. It lets you think and leaves some things up for interpretation. And the reason I'm going to go see it again is because there's a lot to unpack in this movie and process and consume. I don't think I missed anything, but I want to make sure before I make a spoiler review. The pacing was really good in my opinion. Yes, it's long and you feel the length, but I would say there's maybe one or two scenes that could have slightly shaved off a little bit of time, especially the very last scene of the movie. It kind of dragged a little bit, but overall the pacing was great for the entire film. And it does a good job at managing this serious tone, but finds ways to have some funny scenes and dialogue. It doesn't tell jokes though, and it's also not quippy. The jokes come through all the same just from the characters, the dialogue, the mannerisms, and then the characters just being themselves. And speaking of the characters, every character was well developed, especially the main characters. But what was really impressive is how the movie manages to make the side characters still very interesting and cool without them even having much screen time. This is where Benicio del Toro, who plays Sensei Sergio, and Regina Hall, who plays Deandra, absolutely shine. And Chase Infinity, that plays Willa, absolutely killed it. She wasn't cringe, she wasn't corny, she played her role perfectly. And she was also convincingly capable, which is a problem in a lot of films with capable female characters. The only character I really did not care for was Perfidia, who's played by Tiana Taylor. I'm not sure if it was her or the character, but she was just too crazy, too charismatic, and just too much overall, especially for the theme of the movie, when the movie takes itself pretty seriously. And thank God you don't have to deal with her for the rest of the film. She's only like 15 to 20% of the film, and then poof, gone. The movie is just pretty much flawless from there. The writing and dialogue was really good the entire film. All of the characters do what you would expect them to do. There wasn't any characters making stupid decisions for the sake of the plot. There was reasoning behind everything, and characters actually said what you expect them to say in real life. You actually root for the characters because you like them and want them to win, not because the film is telling you you're supposed to like that character. The cinematography was also nice. It was some cool shots here and there. At times you feel feel very a part of the action and the atmosphere, especially when the score is playing in the background. And sometimes you won't even notice the score and how much it's building tension in the background because it's constant throughout every scene. So although there isn't anything too special about the cinematography, the movie is very immersive because of the combination of the visuals, the score, and the attention to detail. Like, oh man, when their special forces teams were clearing rooms, and that's not a spoiler, it's definitely in the trailer, and it was just getting me all giddy and excited because I'm pretty excited for that type of stuff. I love it. So it's just like the attention to detail, especially in those scenes that many movies do not have. Oh, and the added soundtracks of the film, not just the score. The score and the soundtracks are different. Every soundtrack they chose fit the theme of the movie, and they were all really good. Now, there is a social theme to the film, but it's not all in your face. It's not pushed in your face. It doesn't scream message at you. It's like subtle and not subtle at the same time. And I think they do a great job getting that across without preaching. Overall, a really good film. It gave me exactly what I came for, but also exceeded my expectations. It's one thing when you see 96 on Rotten Tomatoes and you're kind of like, it's got to be a little lower than that. You know, audiences love everything. But to me this time, the audience was right. 96 on them Rotten Tomatoes is a solid 9 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed this film and I can't wait to go see it again to maybe catch anything that I missed. So I hope to see you guys on the spoiler review. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video and please leave a like. I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.